wasn't here, went to hell.
Ain't that bad. Got a few low spots. Not that bad at all. Not that bad at all. These are called these little low spots right here. This is caused because we didn't have the float blades on the power trout. We just have the finished blades. Not bad at all. Well, there's no water here, so that means it's good. I'm just on the port. These are low spots, but
nah, they can be blurred up.
Por lo bueno que no lo subió.
Hey, Robert.
He did real good.
Hey, Robert. He's good.
Okay.
He's good. Hey, he's real good.
Oh, you can tell it's slow right here. Pretty tired.
Hey, Devin. Something like that. Yeah. So make it pop, you know.
Today, I'm just knocking off all of the braces and the form boards of this retaining wall. Mike and the other guys are going to be removing all of the bracing only from the foundation. It's still a little bit green, so they don't want to take all the form boards off. Probably just give it another day or so to dry.
Yes, sir. Another day in paradise, man. Thank God that poor's done.
It's all right. Hey, man.
Hello, guys.
It's there.
Look at this beautiful foundation.
I
Look
appreciate it very much.
All thanks to one guy.
Thank you.
One guy. I don't know. I think it was a team effort. Team Crew Dogs is what it was.
Holy cow. You know, I looked at the last video and then saw the aerial.
Yeah.
And I forgot about how many steps it took to get here.
Yeah. Well, you should look back at episode, say 3, when we first got the drone.
Mm-hmm.
And then look back at this.
Yeah.
You're gonna go like, what?
Wow. There she is.
What do you know?
In all her glory.
Look at all that concrete.
Yep.
Now all we gotta do is another 140 linear feet of that, 9 feet tall, and then another 140 linear feet of that away.
That's nothing. Came out really well. There's a few little bows in there from where the concrete shot down too hard, and it lifted up the whole form. Actually, it was lifting up because it was shooting down so hard, and blasting everything up that it moved it. So we had them move to the opposite side of it over here, and just poured in the bottom really slow. Let it dry for a little bit, and then we came back and did the top, and that worked out for us. There's going to be a rock, like stone, built up. That's why I put this rock lug in on the bottom. So yeah, it'll all be covered up. But if you were to fix this, it would just take some sanding and some grinding, and then probably some patchwork with some like plaster or something.
Down and take a nail gun and pop them, because as nails that go through will hit the foundation and it'll put chips in it. Okay, so this is as polished as it gets, right? So we don't nail on the ground. And we don't saw on the ground, because a blade that you saw on the board and you actually nick the foundation, you'll put an etch mark in the foundation. So that's why I want to set up a couple sawhorses up here, and it's better to work upright anyhow. So what we're going to do is, starting on that side, we're going to work all the way around. And I don't know, you guys can tell me what's the best scenario, best case, but we can break off these back form boards, but the back side we can stabilize into the hillside. And then on the front side, there is nothing holding them except the snap ties. So we'll just be setting them on the foundation. And I need to be smart about this, because not that back wall, but all the rest of the perimeter walls are going to be supporting the next piece of the foundation. So the next piece of the foundation is at 10'6". So this wall is going to be exactly 9 feet tall. And the reason for that is exactly 9 is because when we finish the top of it, we have 16-inch eye joists that will be sitting on top of it. So that takes us to 10'6". So we're finishing exactly 9. So, but then on the back side of it, the foundation will be 16 inches thick on the beams up top. That's the minimum thickness, is what they call for. And when we do that, if it's already finished at exactly 9, and we leave the form boards in place with the snap ties without breaking them down, we can just continue our foundation boards up the extra 16 inches, and that helps us up on the next side of it. So everything, we're kind of pre-planning for the next phase. So by doing this a certain way, it saves us labor for the next phase of it. That's my thought process. So when we build these, I'm going to draw a schematic for you guys, how we're going to run. That's why I had you specifically build those batter boards a certain way, because they're going to lay sideways, and the boards run vertical. And then we're going to run on the back side of it with 2x4s, double stacked, every 2 feet. And actually it's every 16 inches, and that's where the snap ties will go in, based on the structural loading of it at 9 feet tall. So we'll do that, and on the boards that run vertical behind these, if we extend them up an extra 2 feet, instead of using 10-footers, we use 12-footers. That'll take us up, 12-footers. That'll take us up higher, so that way when we do the next piece of the form boards, all we have to do is slide a couple boards in, and it'll help support our next piece of the foundation on top of that wall. Because once we build that wall, we have to come back in with the French drain, the gravel, and then we backfill it, and then that's how that works. Does that kind of make sense? So we're going to be doing things a very specific way.
Are we going to use form boards, or are we going to use batter boards with snap ties?
Yeah, we're going to use those batter boards. So some of them that we used along here, we're going to be able to take down and reuse. And then once you guys were building yesterday, we'll be able to put up. But I think we just start with right now is just start on the back side of the entire perimeter of it, and then we can brace it down. So what I wanted to ask you guys, we have to make it nice and level, so those, it's probably best just to take those down and just start from scratch.
How are we going to float the forms on the edge?
How are we?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to build a bracket on the bottom. So that was my point, was we can either cut it off flush and use those, set the batter boards on, the form boards, or you can just start it fresh. I mean, it's already braced, but they're not level right now. And so what I don't want to come along is have a bunch of mix match stuff all over the place, because on the top I want to be able to trim it. I want to be able to put a 2x6 trimmer on top and put it all together so it's all stable. That kind of makes sense. I think that'd be the easiest thing to do. Otherwise we'd have a mix match of boards all the way around it, because we've got to go around the perimeter. This is a wall itself right here. I mean, obviously right here, this will be a wall, and then the wall comes through here, and this is a door, obviously, and this comes on around, and this is all staged up. And so,
Be a supporting wall as well.
yeah, sure is. So this right in here, matter of fact, this area right here, there and there, we're going to be building a structure above it, and exactly at 9 feet tall, and we'll be using the plywood, and we'll be using, worked well over there, that every 4 feet we're going to put a structure in the middle of it. So when we build these batter boards, we also have to think not only it's holding the concrete in, but for the next phase of it, we're going to leave them in place, and we're going to use them as a structure to hold the concrete lid up. So on these batter boards, we might want to use 2x6s, because just from experience over there, the 2x6s, and they spanned a gap of 9 feet, which every span is 9 feet here that we're going to be doing. And you put a post in the middle, so we know we don't have anything longer than a 4-foot span, 4.5 foot. So the 2x6s with a post every 4 feet holding up the roof, with the 2x6s doubling up, going across every 2 feet, worked fantastic. So that was our tester.
And that's just on one side though. The other side you're using the 2x12, right? Up 9 feet? Or?
Well, it'll be a 2x6. So it just happens to be 12 inches thick.
I was talking about the face, the actual.
Oh, the faces
If I
of
heard
them?
correctly, you wanted to do a face 2x12, and then you're gonna burn it to get the grain, and you wanted the whole form boards to be made out of those.
So we happen to have a in the garage. We have 18 footers that are 2x8s. And we have a whole stack of them, and so we didn't use them for the roof, so we're going to use them for this. So I was going to use the 2x8s that run along here because from there to here is exactly 18 feet, and so that was just nice. I think it worked out really well. And so when you're in the house, this is going to be the most visible wall along here, this corner. And so this is what I wanted to do with Boone. So it's a little bit different. So on this side of it, we'd run the 2x8s, and we can talk about this more in detail. So they would sit flat. We'd run a board up vertically, and then on the side of it, we'd run the 2x6s behind it. And then behind that, we'd run a bracing of 2x4s every 2 feet that run laterally. And that's where the snap ties would go through. So these snap ties would be designed for 14-inch walls, even though it's only going to be 12 inches thick because the form boards are thicker. But I have to get that exact measurement when we get down to it. But so that's the big plan. So I think for a good starting point right now is the amount of guys we're going to have on the crew. We're going to have a total of, I think I was talking to Boone, about nine guys out here working, and we kind of have 4 major projects we're going to be working on at the same time, and it's going to be the retaining wall, then the dock, and then the pool, and then the next door neighbor's stuff. And I have Juan in the garage. They're working on the structural beams. I told the framing crew to expect March 7th as a start date, which is 5 weeks from now. So in 5 weeks, the goal is to get this retaining walls done and then get that top portion done. If we spend a little extra time on this, the next phase of it will just be pushing dirt in, and all we have to do is extend this up an extra 1.5 feet. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's even better right now just to build it at 6 or at 10'6", and therefore it's already ready. And then, we would just have to continue up with the structure in the inside and then the exterior perimeter on that. So I wanted to break guys up in the teams of 2 and then maybe teams of 3, because on the dock we only had that lift for another till the Monday. So we wanted to get those next 3 pieces of dock set. And then we're also, this is going to be the coolest thing we do this week. It'll actually be on Monday with Justin out here. We're going to get the lift down there, and we're going to set the I-beams in place. So we're going to do that on Monday when it's not freezing cold. But we're going to have to be here setting and cutting everything, getting everything ready. So that's kind of the priority of events this week. Clean up, set form boards on the backside, get the driveway open, get the lift ready, get the I-beam set, and Gavin and I are going to start plumbing on the pool. But I'm going to have a couple guys working on framing this stuff up. And so we'll talk with everybody and see where we're going to put it in place everybody. And then Mike and Justin, I think down the hill, I think y'all are going to be spending the next few days just doing nothing but working on getting that dock ready. Because when we lose that piece of equipment, equipment's like $4,500 a month. So I don't want to pay for it again. Okay, guys?
Cool.
All makes kind of good sense? Yeah, what we did last week was our Mount Everest. I'm getting this thing done, and so now everybody can split up and start working on multiple projects. So, and the other thing is, I didn't like how hard we had to work to get this done. That was insane, but we got it done when we needed to get it done. So I appreciate your efforts, but my goal is not to work y'all like that again.
That's our goal too.
But the big one we almost lost our rears on is right here. We're right there. So we used instead of using 3/4, we used 3/8. Right here. Well, that's 1/2-inch ply.
Oh, wow.
Right there. That one was almost a bad one. But we lost 1, 2, 3 support boards blew out. And the only thing that held it was Big Mike's bracing! So the bracing held, obviously. But that could have been a real nasty one. That burst out. So, if y'all see this again, this board, never use... What, was that Boone's?
Boone breaks up too.
I was like, I braced some of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Boone did do this one.
There you go.
Boone
boy.
braced this one? Oh,
Okay.
good. Boone saved the day. Okay. So, y'all see, we're going to have to build this thing really stout because we're going to get a 24-foot pumper in here. And so when we do the retaining wall right here, how are we going to get mud over here? Because that boom can't reach over here, right? The furthest it could reach was right here, right?
Yeah.
Right about, this is the furthest the boom could reach?
Yeah, about right there.
Could he add a couple of those dongles on? Or
You can only lift
Can he get over?
two of them?
two at a time. I think.
He couldn't get over here, could he?
No.
All right, so I'm going to have to talk to the guys, and we might have to get a line truck for this pour. I calculated it's only 5 trucks of concrete to do the retaining wall. So I might get the pea gravel, smaller aggregate, and that means it's a 2-inch hose. Robert, have you used that before, the 2-inch hose?
No, I've never used a 2-inch.
Okay, well it should be a lot lighter than the 4-inch or 5-inch that we were dealing with.
Hope so.
Yeah, and so we'd have to lift that up and just pump it. We have to. I think we could do that. There's another thing I got to order. Right here on the next, so we're going to do the concrete pour here. This is a special thing. We're going to have an I-beam that runs through this beam here, that plate of support right here that I built. There'll be an I-beam that runs over top of this, and then we pour this concrete lid up here. The I-beam will help hold it up. So that's the idea. So this is quite the special
Will
pour.
the lid be under the fly beam or above it? Or under
The
it?
beam will be under it
The beam will be under it.
for support.
Okay. I'm trying to picture it.
I
It's
got
for
it.
support.
So the ceiling in here will be 9 feet tall, and then the I-beam will be 1 foot underneath it, so at 8 feet. But the I-beam is going to go right through here. It runs from, there'll be a plate right here to right there. This is going to be in a support column right here. Then we'll go over here. So it's 9 foot, 9 foot, 9 foot. So the I-beam doesn't support anything more than 9 foot. And this will eventually be a rock column. That's why it's not dressed out real nice. This will be a rock column that covers up the support here. It'll be an arch that goes like this over to it.
Nice and opening up to you.
It'll be an arch, a rock arch here, and this will be wine racks along this side over here, and then over here will be the wine sommelier. You can even say that word. And then right here,
What even is that?
I don't know, 4x4 here, and a 4x4 here. There's steel plates under that concrete. They're only about a 1/4 inch underneath it. We're gonna have Justin weld those plates up, and then we're gonna lift the I-beams from right down there. You can park the lift right here, and turn it, and he's gonna lift up and over, and he's gonna set these I-beams right in place right here. I think it can do it. We may want to get that lift up here tomorrow,
Yeah.
see if it can happen.
That thing will have to be like right there.
Yeah, well, it's pretty darn close. Now the thing is, I wonder if you can get it, if you can drive it up here and then back it up a little bit,
To aim it.
but not too far.
Yeah, not too far.
Put it right there, and he aims it for right here.
That'd be your trick.
All right,
Real quick. All right, so yeah, it's gonna be really strong.
let's swing it that way so it's perpendicular to this.
Okay.
Yep.
Move out.
Ready? That'll work. On down. I know it probably wants to roll over, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, well. The scientific method here is take a measurement, make a pin on it. Yep. What is your weight, sir?
My weight? About 272, right in there.
Okay. Now this beam is sitting here. It's not very stable, upright. Would you mind sitting on it, please?
There you go with that. Now we'll go over here and kind of.
Just make sure it doesn't fall over. Okay. Great. Back again. Have a chance to mark it. Okay, 270 pounds middle beam. We have a millimeter deflection. Back on it, Mike. You ain't done yet, dude. All right, Robert. How much do you
Mike.
weigh? Oh, Mike, sorry. How much you weigh?
200.
Okay.
Park it.
Boom. How much you?
Oh man.
110.
Oh, guys. Okay, that's another 200 pounds. We're up to a little deflection.
Let me hop on it.
Well, you got to be in towards the middle, towards Mike.
This is the scientific method right here, for real. Experiment.
you need 160, let me know.
Wow. No deflection with Paul on it. Lightweight. All right, Boone.
Yeah, I'm about 160 also.
Okay, scooch what we got.
I feel like this is gonna fall.
Hey, get your hand off my butt.
That's not my hand. All right, so
I feel like school
let's see here. Let me
kids
stick my head in here.
on the Walt's playground.
Well, we lost deflection at. So how much y'all weigh each?
270. So this is 470.
470.
And another
360,
3.
160, 320 plus
Six.
470.
Yeah,
So we're at
1,000 pounds. No, 800, 900 pounds.
So we have
900 pounds.
800 pounds on our span here, and we deflected
790.
a 1/4 inch. I think that'll meet standard.
Definitely.
1,000 pounds on this beam.
It's going nowhere.
Okay, perfect. Good little test, guys. Excellent. Now this was a 16-footer. The real test, the biggest span I think we're going to have is 16 feet. But it could be a little bit. It could be a little bit high. We do have some 20-footers and a 24-footer, but the 24 is got a span in the middle. There's a support structure in the middle.
So basically
12.
12 at that
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
That's not bad. Okay, looks
Awesome.
good. What do you think about?
Are we taking down these two off the concrete? All right.
All comes down. This is the side that Big Mike he vibrated the outside of the form boards. See if he gets the bubbles out. This is what I want to see right here.
Okay.
Because determining how this turned out will depend on what we do up the hill here.
I just did the bottoms on this. So
Yeah,
I didn't have time.
that's fine. Okay, thanks, bud. Can't wait to walk through here. Actually, we're gonna be able to drive through here. Is that something? As soon as y'all finish up, you want us to hold your camera?
Oh, that'd be great.
Because I mean, it's a two-hand climb.
I got it.
But it won't be long before you won't need to do this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get all this stuff cleaned up and throw it in the dumpster.
Yes.
Whatever salvageable, let's save and reuse. But let's throw it all away because what we can do is we're gonna be able to get a cool camera angle from the drone, all the stuff cleaned up, and you'll be able to see what's going on. And then we'll be able to show. I got a picture of. It might be this one actually. But at the angle, we get the drone at this angle here, and we'll be able to see. We'll be able to see where it's coming from and where it's going, and then eventually the final product would be kind of cool too. But I was going to advertise on the LBJ page. So anyhow, I told the guys don't break down anything on the inside cave yet.
Yes.
The cross bracing we can take out, but nothing vertical because that's still holding it up, and we won't get the full concrete cure for 28 days. But yeah, anyhow, I can start working in there because we'll be able to take down the stuff off of it, and then start accessing what we need to do to runs and all that. Effectively, we can modify it as we see fit, which is so nice about when you're doing your own design and your own build that you can really
Change.
maneuver it for whatever's best on the site, right? What I ended up doing is the same arc that we have here. So we have the arc here and an arc here, and then what I effectively did was I did a bump out, like right here, and then that's where the spa would sit, and it's another arc. It arcs around for the spa, around to the edge, and then as it comes over, it sits something like this, and this is the actual spa. So the beach entry, or not the beach entry, but the first step actually kind of arced around as well. So everything arcs around, and this one would be an infinity edge as well. You know, it bubbles over.
Yes.
So it looks like that.
Okay.
And so we have the arc, and this shape is a little bit different. So when you look at the ground here, what I spray painted it, which is now erased from the rain. But effectively, you see that little mark right there on the ground?
Yes.
It's about a foot or so off of the wall here for the gunite, but it kind of runs right through here, and it arced around. It kind of arced around, and then it snaked over, so it arced and made an S. And so it was about 2 feet off this wall. Once we go, I was going to take those sandbags and stack it along here, about a sandbag deep. since we already had them made, and that will separate the gunite from the house for about a foot. You know, that way
Yeah, so just in case something does happen, they're both not connected and they both shift at the same time.
Yeah, so I'm just going to bag the gunite, just one depth right through here. And then, so you can see the shape of the pool as it kind of flows along. And so we have, triple over everything. This is a corner right here, so it's kind of a wasted space, but this is a good place to return, you know? And because it's kind of deep, kind of arcs around, and comes on over. And so that was just that. And then this is the deep end. And so we were talking about how we had to add about 2 feet of caliche and compact it over there.
Yes.
I didn't know if you wanted to do the plumbing first, do the plumbing and then put the dirt on it, or did you want to go ahead and bring the dirt up here and?
Do the dirt, and then we'll make our little trenches and stuff like that.
Okay.
And move around that, because it's
Okay.
only going to be up in that area where it's going to have that dirt and everything like that.
Yeah, because this is the deep end, effectively 6 foot deep. This is where the drain is, right around here. And then we come on over, so we're running our plumbing effectively right on the ground, and we turn into the equipment room. So this may be a little bit of a built-up area, right? Because the spa would be about 4 foot deep, and then you have the foot exposed above it, and then we have a little water trench around it where the water flows over the edge of the spa, and then would flow into the main area. So we have a lot of flexibility. And then when you're following this kind of arc around, where this bumps out, I envision this portion right here would be kind of like the step where the flat area is, and it just kind of comes on out. I can bring, once we get the road cleared, I can bring the Bobcat down here, and we can dump the fill right here in the corner, park the Mini, and I can take the fill, grab it, scoop it, and put it up here.
Yes.
And then that we can get it where we need to go. And we may even be able to build a little ramp to get the, cut the steel out, get the Bobcat up here if we needed to, and move it around and kind of build up our pad that you want to do. And then from there, the equipment chases are over there on the deep end. We'll be able to move the piping around on top, I think, of the compacted material that you want to do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so because we're building up the spa higher, it's not your typical build, you know, because we have that dirt backing and stuff like that. So we would need to, especially for the sun shelf and for the spa, is create, I guess, somewhat batter boards, compact that down, let that sit for maybe like 6 hours, and then we can take the batter boards off. And that's so good about the caliche that it's hard as a rock once you wet it and compact it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like we need a whole lot of volume of that, honestly. 2 truckloads of it, maybe enough, maybe 3.
Yeah, because we only need to go 2 feet high, and because then we need 6 inches of that rock base.
Okay.
To get on.
Okay. Okay. Great. So we're starting off. So that boards are at 7'6" up there, and so yeah, we're gonna put a foot of gunite thickness on the bottom here, and then like you said, 2 feet. So 2 foot, 3 foot, and then 3.5 feet, and then your water line drop. Yeah, right there. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So like I said, once I build get this stuff out of here and we build some material up in here, I think we'll be able to get the machine up in here.
Yes, sir. I was also thinking too, for this right here, because of course we want to do one continuous spray and everything like that. So there's a couple ways that we can do it. You know, we have that plexi board, that peg board and stuff like that. That's perfect. We just need that just to be held up. So we can make like a tunnel, I guess, from right here, build it up, have a tunnel just to hold the plexi board, or we can have boards how we did like over there, but we'd have to box them out and tell the guys when they spray the gunite to not shoot that wood in, and then we would just have to fill it in with maximizer and water plug and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then after, of course, everything's said, done, and dry, we have to come around the whole entire infinity edge and paint it with Thorough Seal, which is a water sealant.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So you're thinking about putting the pegboard right along here, along the backside, and have them spray this way?
That would probably be the best.
Okay. And that way they're down there and they're spraying the bucket, they're spraying the basin, and then both walls around it. Okay.
Oh, actually, no, sorry. It would have to be on this side.
Oh, okay.
Because you want the wall to be continuous, and then of course you have the rebar. I mean,
Oh, so you have them spray it down in here like this?
yeah, kind of how we did over there, but now I'm kind of also thinking the way you just said it.
Okay.
No, yeah, we could do it like that. It was just we had to make sure we have our foot height, of course, our topper.
Oh, right.
Or
Maybe it would be better if they spray it this way. That way they can get down where they need to go, right? Because they'd be spraying down this way and then they'd spray it up. Okay. I don't know. And then that way by doing that, you kind of build a U. We build a U out of pegboard.
Yes.
U shape, and that way they could spray this way, and then effectively they spray the backside of that wall over there, and then they pull it out, and they spray the middle. That might be the best way to do it, I think. Okay, and that would be sprayed here, and then probably the next day, once they get all this done, it's probably the next spray would be, or they'd start in here and then they'd finish up. Because we also have to have a wall here.
Oh, so you would like to do 2? If we do 2-day spray, then we can definitely put it up right here. Had that sit for like how long they needed to cure, which is like a couple of days, right? And then take all that off and have them spray one continuous, because then they'll have their backing and stuff like that. Because then we'll have our whole entire wall, and have them spray down right here. So it's not just like your cold joint is not right here. It's more right
exactly.
here on the actual.
The cold joint back here I think is best because we'll seal it up like you said with the seal plug, and then also plaster over if we do the pebble. Yeah, I'm just thinking based on our experience over there that this is, if we could do this entire front section in one spray.
Yes.
And then we do, and maybe we can continue it or do this section as well once you put the steel in. So we do everything that's holding water, effectively the structure, and then everything behind it and up would be the day 2. I just don't know if they could get this done in one day.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work, especially with it being an abnormal pool.
Yeah.
So
abnormal. What is abnormal about this project? This is normal to me. But if you want, take this home with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Maybe.
And where's my fucking hammer?
Are you okay with pedophilia?
You have my hammer. No, fuck no, I'm not okay with pedophilia. That'd be wrong. People are people until shit starts getting real fucking weird. Well, let a teacher tell me that. I'll kick him or her.
Back to the Future, man.
You got bars. This is my point. You ever watch VeggieTales, man? VeggieTales is the shit. On top of that, they're babies. Like, how about we don't make it that serious? Because it's not.
Even.
That's what I'm Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Get you?
Huh?
Did I get you?
In the foot.
Oh, you okay?
You hear that, Big Mike?
What?
I said every time you look over here, it's gonna cost you $5. They're showing for free, man.
I want my money back.
Does Gavin have his ass out or something? I feel like Chris is when I'm breaking the wall.
Roll again.
Gotta chip all this crap out, dude.
Damn it, Daniel.
Think that something's gonna be easy, and when you think it's easy, it never is.
Yes.
Chicken's here, fellas.
Absolutely.
So we
I'm choking chicken.
popped that steak out.
How's it look?
Devin.
Get a good shot of Mike. Not that Mike.
You
this
notice
Mike.
that
A good Mike.
the mics,
It's my twin.
the two mics here roll red. What happened to you, bud? Didn't you know it was red day for the mics? At least you got orange for Texas, you know. You got a little-
What he did was he figured out that he's a yellow belly. So you put the red
It's
with
orange.
the yellow,
Not yellow.
and it's orange.
Oh.
Yeah, you put the red with the
Oh.
yellow. See, he cut me off before I ended the clever statement, and now I look stupid.
I figure we just go over there, set it on it, slide it down the.
I think we just set it on the batter board,
Yeah.
and then I'll get down and slide it over and have Mike on the other side and carry it to the dirt.
Mike. We'll just slide it down that thing. And that backside over there, Big Mike, that you did, braced up, looks real nice. Probably the nicest corner of the house.
So what? Boom got the legs in there. Yeah.
Feels like I got the easy in here.
Start throwing me out, so turn it a little bit.
Okay, lift that. There it is.
There you go, buddy. It's all yours.
Man, teamwork makes the dream work here. Just remember, there's no I in team, boys. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Rotate, pivot. Y'all, my daughters watch Friends. So.
Mike, you're not pivoting.
Oh, pivot. Sorry.
Pivot.
Is that a Friends joke?
Okay. Oh man, this feels natural right here. I was in this position for like 15 hours. Running this thing.
He could do some major damage to my privacy if you spot that thing there. It'd be all over. I think it's all over.
Yeah, it's all over, dude.
It is. I just had to send it. Yeah.
You want to try beating on this? You're filling it off? Or?
Hang on.
An incendiary round and a 12 gauge shotgun fucking shell. It's fucking badass.
Ah, that's hard.